name is Kelly Bluen. Welcome to Lesson 5 in my Mini-Mandala series. The point of my series is to show you simple ways to create mandalas without using all of the fancy tools. So what I'm using is a coin. I have a penny. I have a micron pen. Mine is a plastic nib PN pen. I have a pencil to do some drawing and shading and a blending tool called a tortillon. I'm also using a 5" by 5" sketchbook to make my mandalas in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to start by picking up my pen and tracing my penny somewhere on the page. Again, you can use any coin or any round item that you have. And that gives us the start of our mandala. Now I take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line across the center. And I'm going to draw another line vertically. I'm going to draw them coming out the corners as well. So this just breaks up our mandala into a bit of a grid. Then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a wide circle all the way around that coin. So I like to do this with my pencil. And I just play around with what size I want that. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to make that circle. When I make my mini mandalas, I'm not worried about perfection. I'm not worried about everything being equal. I'm just enjoying the process. Okay, so we should have our 2 circles. And then I'm going to put an outline just outside of that first circle. Just going all the way around it like that. And I'm going to do another outline around the large circle. As you can see, my lines are wiggly. They're not all even, and that's okay. Mandalas should not cause us stress. Okay, in this first little line here, I'm going to draw some orbs or circles. All the way around. I do not play background music in my videos because everyone has a different type of music that relaxes them. So you might hear the noises in my house, people walking around, but I don't typically play background music. All right, I'm just kind of filling in these little gaps in between the circles. Like that. All right, now in the center, I'm going to draw another circle. And today I thought it would be fun to put an eye. So I'm going to draw an eye. If you want to draw something else, feel free. I just thought that would be kind of fun today. Right, then I'm going to outline that circle. I'm going to fill it with little tiny dashes. Like that. All right, now I've got this big area here. So in these, I'm going to trace the lines that I made, but now I can also kind of fix it. So this one's really wide and this one's narrow. So if I want to figure out where the center is, I can adjust that now if I'd like to. Again, this one's really wide, this one's narrow. I'm going to fix that by moving my line over a little bit. And then I'm going to put a curve on each side of that line. A curve and a curve. I love the repetition of mandalas. That you get to make that same line over and over again. And inside these shapes, I'm going to do little bumpy lines. And each time I'm starting towards the bottom, I'm coming up and then bumping. It doesn't matter how many of these you do. Focusing on the pen lines that you're making. If you're holding your pen too tight, loosen your grip. Let the pen do the work. Relax your body. I've always been a very fast drawer. Is that the right word, drawer? I've always been very fast. I've always wanted to finish my project and move on to the next one. And making mandalas has forced me to slow down a little bit and just enjoy making the lines. I've got this last one. And that part is done. So now to fill in the space in between, feel free to do whatever you would like, but I'm going to start at the point, come out and then back into that point on each side. So one point to the next point. To force myself to slow down a little bit. Okay, you can leave it like that, or we can continue to make those. And if we do that, they're going to start to bump into each other. So I'm going to do, the side of the one and the other side of the other one. And then when I do it again, I'm just going to let it bump into it and imagine coming out the bottom. And then this one doesn't have room to come out the bottom. I'm going to come out the opposite way and the opposite way until they're done. So on this side, I can fit a full line and a full line. They touch. So now my next one's going to bump into it, come out the bottom, always trying to make it back to that point. And this one's going to hit that one and come out the bottom. And now I've only got room at the top. Now this one I didn't even have room for a full line, and that's okay. Just alternating sides. Filling in those spaces. I hope this is making sense. Alternate sides. Lift up your pen. Imagine it coming out the other side. I love this technique, and I love how pretty it looks all filled in. I've got one area left. Pause the video if you need more time. That part is done. Now I've got this little edge right here, and I thought about doing zigzags. It's nice and quick, but I'm actually going to fill it with orbs or circles since I did that on the inside. So this takes a little while. I'm going to go kind of quickly, just so you don't have to sit here for 10 minutes watching me fill in orbs. And then I'm going to go back through and fill in those little spaces that are left. These little triangular size spaces. Triangular shaped, not size. Darkening in those little areas. Feel free to pause the video and just take your time making these. Enjoy the fact that you've taken a few minutes for yourself today. Don't rush yourself. Check your grip, see if it's nice and loose. Just going to add some ink in those little areas. Okay, I'm going to do one more layer. And for this one, I'm going to do those little bump outs that I've done before. So I'm going to imagine maybe trying to fit about 3 in each section, but really at this point, it doesn't matter. We're not trying to line anything up. Just making these little bumps takes a lot of concentration. I'm moving my hand a little bit each time I make it. Trying to keep them about the same size. Squish a little one in there at the end. And then I always like to outline it at the end. I don't know why I enjoy this, but I feel like it is like a little hug. It brings it all together. And then you can decide what design you want to put on the inside of these. I'm going to keep mine very simple. And I'm just going to do a line with a dot on top. This is going to be my last line. And I think I'm going to leave that center nice and open right in here. But if you would like to add anything to yours, go ahead. And then I've got an eraser. I can erase some of those pencil lines. There we go, there's our mandala. I like to initial my work, and then I always date my work, and I write just a 1 or 2 sentence journal entry about what's going on in my life. So right now, as I'm making this video, it's the middle of December. It is Christmas. I have been shopping, buying gifts, wrapping gifts, traveling. We've had 2 weddings. My daughter and I make cocoa bombs. So many things going on, and it feels good to just take a few minutes to sit, do a little bit of drawing, focus my thoughts and my energy. So I would write a sentence or 2 about that. and just feel grateful that I've got this time to sit and do this. So thank you so much. I'm going to add a little bit of shading before I go. Shading is always optional. So I like to add shading around the circle to kind of give it some depth. So I'm going to do that there and then on the inside here. Just adding a little bit of graphite all the way around. I'm going to take my blending tool, my tortillon, and I soften it just a little bit. And all the way around. It already looks so different. And then I'm going to put a little bit of graphite on the middle of these leaf shapes, right on the line. And then I'm going to soften those out on both sides of the line. And see how that gives it kind of a look of being deep in the middle. And then those little leaf things kind of popping up on the sides. Like that. And then I've got this outside area that's really light, so I'm going to add some graphite to the outside of that as well. I'm just going to soften it a little bit with my tortillon. Pushing it out and away from that line. All right, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week for a Mini Mandala Monday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.